Welcome to this new video. This video is regarding how we will be able to handle time intelligence function using calculated groups. So of course in a project or in a report we need lots of time intelligence function basically to show in the report, and some of them are like YTD, year to year, month to month, then running total and rolling average. All these things are time intelligence functions where we will be using with respect to the sales and the quantity. So suppose if you are writing with respect to the sales, so might be some 10 time intelligence function will be there and you have to write all the 10. And the same for the quantity also you have to write 10. So that means okay, around 20 measures we will be we will be creating for the report. So suppose now in this example, we have shown the sales and the quantity, and for the sales, we have total sales year to date and running total. So we have three measures we have created. And for the quantity also, we have three measures, total quantity, total YTD, and the running quantity. So altogether, six measures we created. So suppose if we need 10 measures for sales, so almost all the 10 measures we will be using for quantity also. So around 20 measures it will be coming. So it will be too much of measures that we are going to use. So instead of that, you can do it dynamically by creating groups. So now in this example, you can see here we have quantity and we have sales measure. Here you have the quantity measures and here you are having the sales measures. And because since you have created these two, around six measures, we got all the values. So in this page, we got all the values for these two respective measures. Suppose if you are creating the group, you don't need to create any this much of measures. Only thing you need to create is the basic measures, that is the total quantity. You need to create this total quantity as well as the total sales. These two are the basic measures with which you will be creating all the time intelligence for the respective quantity and the sales. So you need to create only these measures, basic measures, and you need to pass it to the table at the time of implementing the report with grouping function. Grouping function will be done dynamically, and when you pass this basic measure to that grouping, all the subordinate measures also will be selected in the table. So we'll see the example of that. So let it be like this, or we will do one thing. We will take away all these subordinate measures. That means quantity, running total, YTD, everything we will take it off. And here also we will take it off, all the measures. And we'll do one thing. We will remove the unwanted measures other than the basic measure. That means total quantity we will keep it. Other measures we will remove it from the model itself. And YTD we are going to remove it. And here also sales we are going to remove everything. And here also is sales also we were going to. So now we have only two measures, that those two are the basic measures for quantity as well as the sales. So one is the sum of sales and the other one is the sum of quantity. Now the next thing we are going to do is that we will go to the modeling tab, and in the modeling tab we have under the data we have the tab called model. In that model we will create a group. So now if you see under the semantic model, calculation group 0 is there. We will create a group, new calculation group, and we will rename this group as time intelligence. And the first item we are going to pass into this group is first item we will give it as equals to, since we are going to get the basic measure dynamically, you can give it as selected measure. That's it. Because when you select the total quantity, that will be taken as the selected measure and that will be passed to this total. So the first one inside the group we have done it total, and the second one is YTD. So we will go for YTD. YTD, we will give it as total YTD equals to. We can use the calculated function, and here we can use the selected measure because the basic measure, we are going to get it dynamically, and the remaining things you can do it the same way, dates, YTD, and you can give it as dim calendar date. Now the third one, we are going to use it for running total. So we will give it as running total equals to. You can give it as calculate selected measure to get the measure dynamically. Then of course the same way we will write the definition for running total. We have to take out the filters of the calendar table, and then we will give the check whether the date is less than or equal to the maximum of date. So dim calendar date less than or equal to max of dim calendar date. So we have created a group of these three in the name of time intelligence. So there is no need to create any other measure for this. We have created only these three measures, and that will be called dynamically with respect to all the basic measures which we are going to use it. So now we are going to, now here in this model we have seen there is a small difference here. One more table got added, that is calculation group. And if you open this calculation group, you will have that group name called time intelligence, which we just now created. So nothing much about description, nothing much is shown here. So that is one good thing, because instead of making this data column a mess, everything has been encapsulated inside the time intelligence group. So now for the sales, we need to select the total sales, and then we need to select the time intelligence. We got running total, we got the total, and we got the total YTD. Of course, we didn't use any is empty call check. That's why all these things are coming. But if you see the column, but everything is coming correctly, running total, everything is coming till the end, till the February. And for total sales, of course, it should be correct. And for the YTD, until December 2022, it has increased. And then, of course, it has started newly from 2023. So that is with respect to the total sales. Now for quantity, you need to do the same. Select the total quantity, that is a basic measure, and just select the time intelligence. And you got the running total of the quantity also. So now if you want to remove all these extra columns, you can just go back to the model. You can just go back to the grouping itself and you can edit. And for running total, instead of this, we can write a if statement. We can write it as if is empty, if is blank, the value is selected measure, then we need to make it as blank itself. Otherwise, we can use this calculated function. The same we can use it for total YTD also. If is blank, selected measure, then make it as blank itself. Otherwise, you can use the selected measure. Now, if you go to the report, now everything is cleared. So instead of writing too much of measures here, you can, with respect to all the basic measures, you can just write whatever measure you want and you can bind it inside a group and you can call it dynamically at the time of the visualization. So this is one important and a useful thing that calculation group used. Hope this was a valuable one. Have a nice day.